can tell you we're all a confused lot. Here we are on CricBuzz Live, 5 overs earlier than we should have come on for a CricBuzz Combox. But then that's how life goes on certain days. India not expecting certainly to be bowled out for under 100. Let's not even talk about our predictions. Last time we had our prediction go wrong, at least we could make light of the fact that you add up the 2 innings, it came close to what we predicted. This time, even that's not going to happen. We need to add up 3 innings if we have to get to that. And the story, the very fact that Yuzvendra Chahal, who we considered not even someone who could hang around, played the most number of balls in the Indian innings, and you total up Kulcha, not as a bowling pair, but as a batting pair. They batted 70 deliveries. The rest of the Indian lineup played 115 between them, 9 players, 92 all out.
So the big peril of ask you, it's your fault. You're the one, you made the mistake. You asked us, without us seeing the pitch, you asked us for a target.
Yeah, well,
who knew it's going to stop? Who knew it's going to swing?
But the big question really is...
You were lost for words for 1 second. That's good enough for me.
I was, and admitted, we always have to go a little blind on the predictions.
But how wrong was the pitch report? Pitch report, people have actually been there, they've seen the pitch and they said, great for batting.
Exactly. But I'm still saying, assuming that they'd got the pitch report right, saying that it's going to stop, there's going to be a bit of swing, tread balls in the side, you're still looking at maybe talking about a 210, 220, not 300, not a 92.
Well, see, when you're talking about high-scoring games, okay, and you are batting first, the first 2-3 batsmen need to figure out, okay, what is the par score on this particular track, and what are the kind of shots which one should avoid. I think what we are seeing right now in modern day cricket is a trend developing where you get wickets like these, and the teams are not able to negate with the conditions. You know, they're still having that big score in mind, which is 300. At this point, halfway mark, you much rather be saying that, okay, no, you have enough. Yes, maybe we batted first. That's why we couldn't get to that 300 total. But you should get to that 250, 260 mark. And how do you achieve that? You achieve that by seeing of these the first phase of the game, you know, which is the first 20 overs. Usually, batting first team usually suffers with these kind of situations and scenarios because you don't know what is the good total exactly to set. Once you see this phase off, you've seen that the wicket did get easier. You know, you still had that opportunity of building those partnerships. You've seen it with Chahal, the way he batted. Like, you know, who of all the people were thinking, he looked comfortable. Yes, the ball was swinging, odd ball was nipping. There was that spongy bounce, which was a factor, which will be probably right throughout the game. But you have to give yourself enough chance, and that's something about seeing that phase off. This was the track where you are looking at scoring at probably 3.5, 4 runs per over, not really thinking of creating that momentum early on. You know, you can look to create that momentum. You know, you go back in 90s, how the cricket was played. You know, you go back to say 99 World Cup. What was the trend in that World Cup? Till about 35, 40 over mark, you would have, you know, teams batting at 150, 170 and still getting to that 250 mark, which is a winning total. So that's something which you have to be prepared for if you have to face this situation again. And when we are talking about World Cup or England conditions, you might have a day which is overcast. You know, you might have a lot, wicket might be offering a lot for the bowlers. How are we going to look at seeing of that situation? So the important thing is that communication again. You know, that's something which stays constant when you play cricket. You know, if you're bowling also, then also you need to communicate. What are the kind of right lengths, like how Trent Bolt bowled today? He was getting that ball fuller than normal. What you've seen so far in the series, and the reason is very simple. The conditions are suiting these kind of bowling. So give yourself the best chance by hitting those right areas. Similarly, for batsmen today, the conditions are not allowing you to play certain shots. Then stay away from those shots. Find out, like, you know, this was a typical wicket where you will see that the batsman has to hang on the back foot, play the ball as late as possible, avoid those on the rise shots, and see off one phase, which didn't happen.
Zach made a very valid point about the ball swinging. If you look at how modern 20 overs cricket is played, and 20 overs is now coming into 50 overs cricket, is you see the line of the ball and you hit through the line. Where it leaves the hand, you pick the line, and with your big bats, you hit through the line, miss hits are going for 6. That's why wrist spinners are getting a lot of wickets in limited overs cricket, because the ball is hitting the deck and deviating away from the straight. Swing bowlers are getting a lot of wickets because the ball is deviating. If you hit through the line, you'll get out. And Zach also makes a point. See how many of the first 4 batsmen of 5, 3 were caught hitting the ball. Two caught and bowled, and 1 caught at cover. Which means straight away the ball is stopping. So the message going back saying थोड़ा रुक के आ रहा है, एक दो से खेलते हैं.
But really, right from the top, I was just picking up from the point, even before you got to 3, 4 and 5, your top 2 stalwarts were normally giving you 100 partnerships. One has got out to the swinging ball, Shikhar Dhawan. The other's got out to a stopping ball, Rohit Sharma. And that's where probably that communication right up top to Shubman Gill and to the 3 who played 14 balls between them. The 3 men who were in the focus of what's going to be our next topic, the World Cup squad.
It's a bad day to pick a World Cup.
It is.
But it's
or maybe a very good day to talk about it.
It's a day that happens. Just as 370 score doesn't make you a great batting side, 190 score doesn't make you a bad batting side. So.
Yeah. I mean, New
But
Zealand...
it underlines how good India are when the top 3 are scoring runs and if the top 3 are not scoring runs. You saw the Champions Trophy final. The top 3 got out in the first few overs and you didn't get any runs. So it just re-emphasizes that India is very, very dependent on the top 3, and maybe you need that circuit breaker if the top 3 are not scoring runs, the circuit breaker that didn't play today. When the stocks are on a free fall, you need a circuit breaker to close the trading. He was not playing today, so maybe you wanted someone who'd be, as he said, 10 not out of 40 balls, but ensuring that 6, 7 are not batting early.
Yep, well that's the case, and you had 2 bowlers. Very rare to have 2 bowlers. We know that Bolt, we were saying, he's going to bowl out 10, but we had Colin de Grandhomme also bowling his 10 on the trot. So that's going to be rather unique. 2 bowlers bowling.
Well, Colin de Grandhomme bowling those 10 overs was certainly a surprise, because you were not expecting against this batting lineup to for him to come up with his career best figures. So that's something. He's a bowler who is going to rely on conditions, and today's conditions were just about ideal. You've seen so many bowlers in the county circuit also. When you talk about English county, you'll see so many bowlers loving these kind of conditions, bowling that dibbly-dobbly pace, swinging the ball. You've seen Dinesh Karthik's dismissal. It was because of the pace of the bowler. He felt like he could reach out to the ball, and that's something which happens when a bowler of this kind of style gets the condition which are suiting him. You often find it difficult to negate, because you would go after the bowling, because of the pace of the delivery. You would want to play each and every delivery, and with the movement around, you end up nicking.
I know what you're saying. I saw a lot of those. We talked about in English conditions a little bit. We played a lot of matting cricket on matting wickets in Hyderabad. We used to get these guys who used to bowl cutters. Just about medium pace, one in. Just they used to bowl the little cutters on the matting wickets. Used to do well. It was that Colin de Grandhomme brought it from home today. He just rolled up like a yoga mat. He just rolled up the track and put it out there and bowled on it.
But interestingly, I mean, we've talked about New Zealand. They would have liked to have a surface like this maybe in the first match of the series, set the trend, then have India come back into the series in a batting situation. It didn't happen here. It's 3-0 down. But can we expect anything similar on a cloudy day in England on any of the surfaces come 2019? And if we do, then lessons to be learned from here are important.
Absolutely. So you're talking about World Cup squad.
Yes.
How are we?
We haven't got to the squads yet. Let's just talk about World Cup lessons.
But
I think World Cup lessons.
Chopping the vegetables before putting the spice in.
We've always been talking about what are the concerns for Indian team going forward, right? And this one point which has been debated, and that's why that debate also has been there about the number 4 debate, the big debate of the year, which went by was number 4 debate, and how the importance of number 4 batsman is going to be in the World Cup for these kind of days. What do you do when you have 3 wickets down in the first 15 overs? How do you get out of that situation? So that's something which is very important and vital. And here is the answer to that. Someone like MS Dhoni, these are the days where the value of MS Dhoni will be amazing for India.
3 for 4.
When there's a 350 kind of game, then you suddenly start looking at MS Dhoni's strike rate, because at 350, then you think he's consuming too many deliveries. But in a 230 game, we saw that when him and Bhuvneshwar were in Palika, was it in Sri Lanka? When India lost all those wickets to Dhananjay.
Yeah.
Him and Bhuvneshwar Kumar took the score up and India won that game. Bhuvi scored most of the runs towards the end, but Dhoni ensured that you didn't have a circuit breaker. So in a 230-240 game, he's the perfect batsman to have. In a 350 game, then maybe he floats or he comes and bats differently.
Wonderful part of Indian cricket this is when he's in the team. We're wondering what is he doing? Why is he not playing the way we want him to play? Now that he's out for a couple of games, bring him back.
Because he has his strengths that that would have been useful today. On some other days, he's probably using too many deliveries.
Yes. Right, we're going to come to that. I'm going to throw a little bit of trivia to you before we go to the My World Cup squads. Kuldeep Yadav, only the second time in Indian history, a number 10 has been the top scorer. Sorry, Yuzvendra Chahal was the top scorer. Kuldeep almost got there. The last time it happened?
Right, number 10 was the top scorer?
Yes.
In a limited overs game?
Yes.
Zahir Khan.
It
When was
wasn't,
that?
otherwise he would have known it.
I don't know. I thought you were asking me because he's sitting here.
I wish it was as beautiful as that, but yeah. Someone from
But he was, I still remember I was there in that last wicket partnership.
in Dhaka.
In Dhaka, where he outscored Sachin in the last wicket partnership.
Yeah, I was
he
on the-
scored more runs in the partnership. And you were waiting down to do the interview at the
Yes,
end.
on the boundary line.
And he made you wait for
delayed
such a
us.
long
I was
time.
It's not a
trying
nice
hard
thing
to
to
get
do.
out. I was trying hard
Yeah,
to get
because
out.
you get 9 down and you already start
Correct,
making
I
your
know.
plans and you get in there. Khalil was nice enough today that he didn't make us wait too long. But yeah, it was one of those things. You waited and waited and waited. You always knew he could bat, but one of those just decided that he didn't want to bat too often. We often said that about you. You can say it to your face right now. All the talent in the world with the bat.
Yeah.
But never lived up to it.
I had to focus too much on my bowling.
Fair enough.
And making sure my body is ready to deal with the
Okay,
pressure.
so
of
it's
bowling.
someone, it's not him, but it's someone from his fraternity.
I'm thinking,
In
could it be
Canada?
Could it be Javagal, Srinath?
It is Javagal
Srinath, yeah.
Yep.
Because Srinath fancied himself as a batsman so much that he actually got people to send him to bat at number 3 as a pinch hitter. And he
He
could
did
bat.
well as
By the way,
well,
he could
he did well.
bat until he hurt his... he was afraid of hurting his hands. I think he broke his finger a couple of times.
43 at the Toronto Cricket Curling and
Which
Skating
year?
Club.
Which year?
1998.
So 98 they were playing against West Indies.
So Toronto, you're talking
Toronto.
about those wickets, how much